We are live. Funny thing is, it always says live video is starting and it's got the big circly thing, but it actually is like on, but it just doesn't tell you that it's on. And I only know this because when I go back and get the recordings and I realize that all that time I spent waiting for the computer to tell me we were actually live. So let's
Live.
double check one thing here and make sure because I like to be very thorough.
Live from the Angry Citizen Studios
You
in
got
Brewer,
it.
Maine.
You got it, brother. From Chamberlain Street, right down the street from the Joshua Chamberlain Memorial,
Love it.
where we posed for our pictures. So we are live, I can confirm. Welcome, guests, to the Angry Citizen podcast. I am here again with my beloved friend and ally, Ohio Brett Bohl, who is a staunch, fierce, constitutional American and patriot and has been campaigning nationwide to unite like-minded, patriotic, constitutional Americans into a powerful force, a coalition that will fight back against the current tyranny, the dark overlords trying to steal all of our rights and enslave us, which anyone that's woke knows is happening. When I say woke, I don't mean, you know, I mean we're awake. We see that our government is trying to nakedly, flagrantly take away all of our rights and enslave us. We see it happening. We're trying to wake everyone else up. And I am honored and privileged to have Brett as my guest here on the Angry Citizen podcast because he is a man who is in the trenches. There are people that talk the talk, and at the end of the day, there are people who walk the walk. And I can tell you personally that Brett does walk the walk. Brett is a very staunch, strong Christian, a man of faith. He is very outspoken in his beliefs. And I'm really privileged to have him here as my guest on my podcast. And I want to talk about some of his initiatives because these are important, and I think a lot of people out there are going to find that they will perhaps have cause to support Brett's initiatives. Brett has been of late. I'm going to lead in for him here that he has been of late in constant proximity of a fellow who's known by the title of Coach Dave, who has a movement of his own and a podcast of his own or broadcast, whatever you want to call it, called Coach Dave Live. And Brett has also been strongly allied and working very cooperatively and hand in hand with a woman I am absolutely enamored of, Dr. Sherry Tenpenny. And if you don't know who Dr. Sherry Tenpenny is, it's because you probably are not turning off the TV. Because any of us who have turned off the damn TV and looked at what's really happening in the world know who Dr. Sherry Tenpenny is, and you should too. So these three people have a very powerful alliance, and Brett and I met when Brett came to Maine. We hung out together. You can check on my Facebook page. I got some awesome pictures of us next to the Joshua Chamberlain Memorial. They are super awesome. And we had a great time together and really bonded, and I felt a strong kinship with Brett. I want to say something very much for the record, just because a lot of anyone that knows me knows about all my beliefs, because I'm very upfront about what I believe in all areas. I'm a man of God, but I do not call myself a Christian, so I'm not here promoting Christianity, nor am I allying with anyone who's a Christian because I am a Christian. I have currently found myself allying with many Christians because they are very strongly opposing the unconstitutional laws, rules, mandates, and have been persecuted, I think, from the middle ground. I'm telling you this very rationally, objectively, have been persecuted and had their voices silenced, and that bothers me. That concerns me as a constitutional American, whether I'm a Christian or not. So, Brett, please tell us a little about yourself. And I won't use your catchphrase because I'll let you do it, but I love it and I use it all the time. But I'll let you throw that in when you feel appropriate and tell us about your current initiatives, please.
Well, first of all, Dana, it's an honor to be with the Angry Citizen again. And for your international audience, I can't encourage you enough. You have to go every single county, every single state. You should be plugging in to the Angry Citizen. And if you're watching right now on Facebook, this will be a perfect time for you to phone a friend, text a friend, share on Facebook right now, all social media platforms. This conversation is going to go a couple places, but it started and was grounded that very first day that we met, early in July this last summer. I accepted the honor to come to Maine for a great man of the Lord who was considering running for governor in Maine. And so I agreed. We were connected by our mutual friend, Coach Dave Dobbenmeyer, CoachDaveLive.com. And I came out and I had the honor of blitzing all 16 counties of Maine. What an honor it was for me to be back in Maine. It was my second time to Maine, but not too many people have been to all 16 counties in one short trip. And from York to Aroostook to
True.
Penobscot,
Very true.
man, what a powerful, powerful state you have. As Maine goes, so
So
goes the
goes the
country.
nation. Yeah.
But I'll tell you what my highlight was, meeting that stud, Dana, the angry citizen. We are like-minded.
Yes.
We both are constitutional Americans. We will fight for those who have an opposing view if their rights are being trampled.
Yes.
I want to repeat that. Dana and Ohio Brett will join hands with all of you, even those with different opinions. If your rights are being trampled, we will stand in the gap for you. And when we run out of ammunition, we will put the bayonets on and we will charge down the hill together. Ohio Brett and Dana the Angry Citizen, side by side for God Country Sports and the great outdoors.
There it is. Love it. I find
For
myself saying
God
that. For
Country
God
Sports
Country
and the great
Sports.
outdoors. And I'll tell you,
Ohio Brett.
yes, I do have a personal relationship with Jesus. I'm not a Christian. I don't have religion. I have a personal relationship with the creator of the universe, God and his son, Jesus Christ. And it's an honor for me. I get encouraged by Dana. And many of you so-called Christians out there, if your ears are working right now, you need to plug into Dana, the Angry Citizen, because you know what he does in the middle of the night? He goes one-on-one to the Lord. Whoever his God is, he speaks directly to him. And that encourages me. So, Dana, it's an honor to be on the Angry Citizen podcast tonight. And let's rock and roll.
Tell us about, and you came here, and for those who don't know, the Reader's Digest condensed version is Brett originally came to me because he was campaigning for someone that was supposedly going to run for governor, and the person, his name is Mike Heath. Mike Heath has since decided he's not going to run for governor. That's all sort of up in the air, but that's not the subject of the discussion. Rather, that he came here, that's how we met. And he became involved with, again, he talked to me about Coach Dave. And Coach Dave, just so you know, he's a very staunch Christian, but I am not recommending him because of that reason. I'm recommending him because his message is a strongly allied to my own beliefs and my own firmly held conviction that all constitutional Americans need to stick together. I don't have to be a Christian to agree with Ohio Brett and Coach Dave that unconstitutional laws, rules, mandates, orders, whatever should be resisted and ignored, and people that pass them should be held accountable for perjuring their oaths. At the end of the day, we could have a conversation about religion or politics or any subject, pineapple pizza, but we all agree we're constitutional Americans. So I found out about Coach Dave through Brett and then checked him out and I like what the guy is saying, and again, it's not a religious thing. He has his religion and that's fine, but I don't go to him for religious coaching. I'm listening to his message as far as unity and strength in a coalition of constitutional Americans. As Ohio Brett said, his rights are mine and mine are his. I keep saying this, and people don't seem to get it. They think it's okay for them to watch you give away your rights because they agree that the thing being done to you is okay. But if something were being done to them that they didn't like and wanted to object to, they'd be very angry if everyone didn't say, no, you shouldn't have that done to you against your will, whether it's taxes or, vaccinations or whatever is being inflicted on you that you can't stop because it's tyrannical. And right now we live in a country where we're seeing all these tyrants, lockdowns and mandatory mandates of any sort. I find vile and offensive, and any constitutional American should. Mandating masks and mandating vaccines and multiple doses and mandating that you shut down your business. And Ohio Brett and I and Coach Dave are all aligned on the fact that we can talk about religion at the end of the day when we're sitting down having a cold Sam Adams, but today, right now, we're not going to watch our country being taken over by tyrants and say that that's okay. We ally on that purpose. So when Brett came to Maine and he and I met and we talked about all of these issues, he introduced me to Coach Dave, and he also told me about his initiatives for, and I'm trying to remember correctly, so throw in here whenever you want, but it's the Christian, uh, what was the title? The
Revolution.net.
ChristianRevolution.net. Thank you. So
Dana, so your podcast followers and your international audience can know the ChristianRevolution.net, the ChristianRevolution.net, and we'll be back in Maine on October the 16th, Dana. I'll find all the
nice.
location details for you. Coach Dave and Ohio Brett will be back in Maine together. We're going to do an event in New Hampshire on October the 15th, and all those details are coming out as well. But the ChristianRevolution.net was born when Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, Ohio Brett, and Coach Dave were all speaking at a conference in Dayton, Ohio. And this was maybe about 6 weeks ago, Dana, that
I have it
God,
right here. The viewers are watching it, so go ahead.
well, we have on the ChristianRevolution.net was born at a conference in Dayton, Ohio about 6 weeks ago, where the three of us got together and we were just like when we met in Maine, Dana, we were having some real conversations about what's going on in America and who is standing up for good versus evil.
Yep.
And the question that I posed was, after watching last summer our villages being burned, cities being burned,
Yes.
our women being attacked and raped, and police officers being assassinated all across America, people robbing stores and breaking in, and it was paid actors.
Mm-hmm.
They were paid by the George
The
Soroses,
Soros. Yeah.
the evil,
Yep.
Bill
Bloomberg,
Gates, and
Bill Gates. Yep.
all
Yep. We know the
all
players.
that. So who was funding good? So
Amen.
three Ohioans came together and said, "Why not us? Why not
Indeed.
us? We're not looking to elected officials." And no offense, we're in the middle. We the people. I'm calling out people on the right and the left.
Yeah.
All elected officials failed us. All means all. They're all turning their back on the constitutional Americans, we the
Yes.
people, that they are not aligning themselves with our morals and our moral compass.
And they work for us. They work
right.
for us. That's what people cannot seem to get through their heads. Executive orders are not laws. Mandates are not laws. You don't have to comply. You don't have to just do whatever your governor tells you. I have as much right to tell you, Brett, what to do as your governor does. That governor has no more right to give you orders than I do. I could order you to surrender all your money to me, and that would have just as much lawful authority as the governor of Ohio telling you, reach in your wallet, take all your money, give it to me. So they work for us. That's what we all need to get our heads behind. Go ahead.
And if you're a parent watching this show right now, I want to encourage you to plug into Dana and the Angry Citizen. Our college students, our high school students, our entire communities need to plug into the powerful message that you share, Dana, because they're not getting this in school. You have to get this outside of the mainstream media. I believe our future is so bright. Our high school students, they're going to be the leaders in a blink of an eye. And they can sense truth. They also know when they're being lied to. They can sense something that's off. Well, it's up to leaders like Ohio Brett and the Angry Citizen to join hands, come together, take it to the streets in a peaceful way, take it to a podcast that will go to international audiences, and be a good listener. Be a good listener to those cries and the oppression, because, Dana, in my opinion, we all have been deceived. We all have been deceived. And now, so we're going to allow unconstitutional, unlawful mandates forcing us to wear masks or take shots or take tests for what, Dana?
Exactly.
The truth is out.
Yep, it is. I was just today talking to one of the fellows at the I get my car fixed at a place here in Bangor. I'll throw them a shout out here. It's a Bangor Tire in Bangor, and I've established a good relationship. I know everyone there. I've hung out there for years. Had all my vehicles serviced there. They're great guys. And the guy that came to get me today to go back there to get my car we were chatting about all of this stuff. And People are seeing through it. The bottom line is people are seeing through the charade. The dark overlords have overplayed their hand. They keep trying to make this horrible plague the subject of the day, and people are now starting to realize that the horrible plague isn't really the threat that it's been presented to be, and that the real threat is our wildly out of control government that is just stripping away our rights summarily, right and left. So, and people are coming together. So I don't know if you've seen. I'll throw just a flagrant self promotion here on a couple of fronts. First of all, if you have not seen my podcast with attorney Bill Gens, who is an attorney in Boston, who is representing a lot of folks, patriots in Boston, including the Boston or Massachusetts state troopers, who are now very upset about these mandates and willing to take a stand together collectively. And he's also negotiating with and discussing these measures or assisting with other groups and I'm not at liberty to say who they are, but it could end up snowballing into a very significant, very, very public and very large movement of very determined people to fight back. So I'm super, super optimistic about that. I have a podcast with him that you can see if you're on my BitChute channel. It's like 3 or so previous to this one that you'll see on there. Um, and you talked about a couple of really important things about right now. We have so much division in America. We have division because the dark overlords are constantly throwing it at us that we shouldn't get along. Turn in your neighbors. If you're a masker and you're with an unmasker, you need to argue with them and tell them that they're not allowed to shop there. If you're black, you need to be mad at white people. If you're white, you need to be mad at black people. And I brought together a group of friends to have some very frank discussions about that subject of racial tensions and racial issues in a really logical, honest, and compassionate environment. That's also on my BitChute channel. And we had some really good discussions about this issue, and we illustrated one critical fact, which is we are far more united than we think we are. And if I could get Americans to stop bickering about stupid, meaningless, trivial crap that doesn't mean anything and focus our attention on the important issues. If you take a dozen people and put them in a room and ask them about an issue, I guarantee you that most, if not maybe even all of the time, you'll find a consensus and maybe even at times a universal kind of agreement. Like most people I know in America don't think that politicians should get salaries for life and benefits far exceeding what a corporate environment would provide for them.
Absolutely. Dana, I got to piggyback in on that. Ohio Brett would firmly stand firm. As soon as that last day you're out of office, go to work. Go get another job. No more taxpayer-funded money
and
for you.
And who disagrees, Brett? Who out there says, no, I don't like that at all? The only person is the guy getting the benefit. No one wants to pay for his health care for life. Right?
Dana, I am so encouraged by you, Dana. I want to encourage your international audience. Everybody go out to the BitChute channel and make sure you watch Dana, the Angry Citizens videos. You need to follow him on Facebook. Share it with all your friends. Ohio Brett likes and loves almost every single Facebook post, and I share them with the Angry Citizen. Why? Not just because we become friends. It's because he is sharing truth. And the truth is what really will set us free, but the truth is also what people hate. Truth sounds like hate if you hate the truth. I want to repeat that. Truth sounds like hate if you hate the truth. My mentor, Coach Dave, live.com, shared that with me, and it is so powerful. And it brings me back to that stud attorney out of Boston that you were talking about.
Bill Gens.
I would love to connect with him. I will be in Boston October 11th, 12th, and 13th.
Awesome.
I will be in the Boston area.
I will totally set that up, brother.
We will be doing some secret missions. We will definitely take it to the streets with some gatherings because that's what Ohio Brett does. Playtime is over because this is not a game.
Amen.
And Dana, that you brought up attorneys, I want to tag into one of the main first focal points of thechristianrevolution.net. I want to encourage your audience to go visit thechristianrevolution.net. Dr. Sherry Tenpenny Coach Dave and Ohio Brett are the founders, inspired by what I believe God brought together. But lawfare is our first big battle. Lawyers, law, warfare, lawfare. And we started September 2nd in Buffalo, Dana, and it was an amazing night in Buffalo. And there's some prophetic reasons why we started a big revival in Buffalo. And then they flew us out to Oklahoma. We did 3 events in Oklahoma. Amazing, that state. The men and women, true leaders, constitutional Americans in Oklahoma. Dana, they would love you in Oklahoma. You can bring like 200 lobsters out there, and you would be the king of Oklahoma.
I could make that happen.
Oklahoma City, Duncan, and Tulsa were so very, very special. And then they flew us to Charlotte, and we did an event at a church last Monday in Mooresville, near the Lake Norman area. Very powerful. So this movement, it just started officially September the 2nd. And I'm proud to announce that with the donations, none of them are tax deductible. We wanted nothing to do with the government.
Right.
We did not make a request and go beg for a 501c3 status so they could give us an IRS determination letter so people could donate and get a tax deduction. Hey, here's what I do know. In times of war, when you chipped in for the wartime efforts, you're trying to save America. So you weren't looking for a tax deduction if you gave $100. So it is very honoring that we feel so blessed. We've raised over $400,000 in online pledges since September the 2nd, Dana. Nice. This is going viral, and we're just getting started. And we've issued our first grant. Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, live from the stage in Stevens County, Oklahoma, Duncan at the state fairground or the county fairgrounds there. She announced to the world that we issued our first major grant, a $240,000 commitment to hire a stud bulldog attorney. She's out of Chicago, and we're going to bring legal thunder down on state medical boards.
Love it. I love it. Damn straight. Yeah, I was, while you were talking there, I was looking at the website here showing the viewers and got Dr. Sherry Tenpenny in front of me here. And I'm going to tell all my viewers, anyone that's out there that's hearing me that has not heard of Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, you really should. You have no idea how amazing and powerful this woman is. She speaks the truth. She's got, Brett, you said earlier about that, the truth will set you free. The phrase I've used and begun to really adopt that I love is the truth is the sword of God. Because you think about the effect the truth has on people. Even if you're speaking to a liar, even if that liar is maintaining a lie, knowingly maintaining a lie in your face and in the face of all witnessing, when you look at them right in the freaking eye and you tell them the cold, hard truth, you see them flinch. You see them hunker back because the truth is the sword of God. And when people hear it, if they're misguided and they've been fooled, the wolves have told you that you're going to go to their barbecue and you're going to have a fun time at their barbecue. You and your friends come to their barbecue and he and his friends are going to be there and you're all going to have a merry time. And someone says, I don't think that's a safe thing to do. This sounds very suspicious to me. You feel that. You feel that truth. You feel it in your soul. This person's telling you the truth. You know it. And when I tell people you've been fooled, your government is deceiving you, these medical so-called experts are deceiving you, your media is deceiving you, you can feel it. That's why they get so mad. Because people hate more than anything else in the world. They hate to admit they've been fooled. They've been lied to.
We all have,
you
Dana.
Believed the lie. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I understand that, it was your cousin that sold you the insurance policy, but it's not a good thing for you. It didn't help you. It's just taking money out of your family budget. I'm sorry that the doctor told you that chemotherapy is a good thing to do because he really maybe thought it was. Not a good thing to do. It's very unhealthy. It doesn't actually cure your cancer. I'm sorry that, the government tells you that there's a horrible plague circulating that's killing people in droves and it's so terrible, and they're going to just tell you to stay home, lock up your business, and fire all your employees, and they'll get back to you someday when it's safe to come out. They're lying. They're lying.
And Dana, who is the wicked deceiver? Where does all wicked deception come from?
Brett, if you have not checked this out, check out. I made a video called "A Message from Satan" on my BitChute channel. If you've not seen it, you want to see it because it's a
Oh,
riot. You will love
you
it.
shared that with me, Dana, and
Yeah.
I enjoy all your stuff, Dana, and
Thanks, man.
I'm so thankful. And I want to issue a challenge to this international audience. There's no reason why Dana should not have followers in every single county, in every single state, coast to coast, border to border. It's on us to share that. I share it with my audience, and my audience is growing, growing, growing like crazy. I feel blessed that I've had some great friendships and mentors and people that believe in Ohio Brett and my message. That I'm very fortunate that the platform is in front of me. It hasn't been easy. I've made lots of mistakes. I'm a simple man. I am a sinner saved by grace. I've made many, many mistakes, but I try not to keep making those same mistakes again and again and again. And now when we come back to the real message of what thechristianrevolution.net is all about, and I want to encourage you to go visit the website, read the open letter, take it to prayer, give $10, $20, $100 or more, and then share it with others. Because what you'll find we're all about is we are sharing truth in every single category. Dr. Sherry Tenpenny is an American hero, and she is being attacked actually around the world. She's an international figure. And our home state of Ohio, Dana, can you believe the state medical board sent her a 22-page letter that she had to answer, and they tried to bring her in for a psychological evaluation.
Of course they did.
It is disgusting. But she's sharing truth in the health and wellness and medical world, and that truth is being attacked.
Yep, because
Coach
the dark
Dave,
overlords don't like the truth.
That's right.
The devil does not like the truth.
That's right. And Coach Dave, for 20 plus years, he is the former high school football coach that made the mistake of praying over the kids after a huge playoff win, and the ACLU came in, huge lawsuit. He ended up winning many, many years later after appeal after appeal after appeal, but his career was ruined. He wins the case, but his career is ruined. So he started a ministry called Pass the Salt. You can check him out on CoachDaveLive.com. But basically what he does is in all 50 states, he's building teams to go outside of the four walls of the church and stand up for Jesus. He is a great mentor and a great man. And then Ohio Brett, Dana, I shared this with you when we first met. Ohio Brett comes from a sports background. Not everybody gets into sports. I get it. But sports in America is a big fabric of what many people do in our communities.
Yes, it's
not
very
everyone,
powerful,
but it does. The Boston Bruins, the Patriots, the Boston Red Sox, the high schools, the colleges. It's a fabric of our communities. And I actually grew up in a family where my mom and my dad are my two best friends. And my mom was an elementary school teacher for 44 plus years. And my dad had a long, long career as a director of intercollegiate athletics. He was a college athletic director. He was an assistant at Ohio State for many years. So, yes, we're Ohio Brett's a fan of the Buckeyes.
God bless you for that.
As long as they're not playing the University of Toledo, where I went to school, and my dad was the AD there. And for those of your international audience that follows college football, my dad was the AD who hired Nick Saban to his first ever head coaching job. Nick Saban is now the head coach at Alabama, the all-time winningest coach in college history as far as national championships. No one's won more than Nick Saban. I was blessed to be a walk-on defensive back on the teams. And then Dad got the AD job at Fresno State in California. And then Dana at a school that loves their basketball, the Kansas Jayhawks. So growing up in that family, sports is the backdrop. So I have a very, very good in through the sports circles. So that gets me the opportunity to get in conversations about constitutional American topics, about a personal relationship with Jesus, about choices, decisions, consequences, about, hey, what does it mean to be a father who loves his son and daughter, but I've made some mistakes, and I want to encourage you not to make the same mistakes that I made. Life is a journey. And all we simply try to do as parents, if you have any parents watching tonight, all we simply try to do is understand we're not perfect, and we just want to teach our children the right things to do so when they get older, they'll stand in the gap for somebody else and do the right thing. And Dana, that's what you and I are doing right now.
Yes.
We are standing in the gap right now for those Americans, and I'm going to say it, I'm not going to hold any punches. Those weak Americans that they know in their hearts something's off, but yet they still put the mask on every day.
Thank
Those
you.
weak Americans
Thank
that
you.
they know
You're
their
right.
constitutional rights are being abused,
Yes.
and their neighbors, and they don't stand up. They just they bitch, and I don't like to cuss. They'll complain and moan in their house, and they won't go outside to a rally. They won't go
Yes.
make phone calls or
Yes.
do anything.
Exactly.
And with these shots, can you please explain to me, Dana, with this COVID flu, all life is precious. We do not want anybody to die, but
Right.
death does happen every year.
Yes, it does.
You could hit a moose in Maine and you could die. That happens every year.
Yes.
You could be eaten by a shark. You could have a heart attack.
Right.
You could get in a car accident. Death is part. None of us are getting out of here alive. Death is coming for all of us. So please tell me that we're going to let the government rob all of our constitutional rights for this COVID flu that 99% of the people survive.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's an A+ rating.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
an A+ rating.
ridiculous.
So this deception, I'm calling out everybody to take off your masks. We need to rally around every single COVID-19 vaccine station and honk and wave protest right outside of those centers.
Ask them, why are you not providing informed consent? Why isn't that the most basic, fundamental, easy to understand, no one could disagree question? Why are you not providing informed consent? And they can't answer that question, and that's when you need to be very worried. As an American, they tell you you're going to take this shot, and you ask them, you're just going to stick this thing in my arm and inject me, and you're not going to tell me anything about it. I don't know what's in it. I don't know what it's supposed to do. I don't know what the side effects might be. What's the chance of the side effects? What are the side effects? And you're not going to tell me that, and then people are telling me I'm dumb for opposing this. It is called a life-saving treatment, and that's the label that gets slapped on it, and I'm not allowed to ask questions. And if I ask questions, that makes me difficult. It makes me a conspiracy theorist. I have a video about that on my BitChute channel. Folks, America, hear me right now. There is no such thing as a conspiracy theorist, okay? We need to stop using that term. A theory is an advancement of an idea. Maybe this is the case. Maybe there is this truth. Maybe orange soda causes cancer. And then you explore the theory scientifically, asking questions and looking for data and evidence so that you can arrive at a conclusion as to whether or not the theory might or might not be true. A wise person neither believes nor disbelieves a theory as soon as it is advanced. And if, bottom line, folks, if anyone tells you the government might be working against all of us, we the people, in some way, and you laugh at them like they're stupid, you're revealing yourself to be stupid. Because anyone with half a brain, anyone with, as Bill Gens used a phrase I love in our podcast, he said, anyone with 2 brain cells to rub together can understand that our government does work against us. That's their job. I made a video about this specific thing. So when we talk about these subjects and tell you that this might be something you'd want to explore and consider, don't dismiss it summarily. And everyone, I had this conversation with an ally this morning, every one of us that's trying to tell you the truth says the same thing at the end of our discussions and our diatribes and my rants. I say, don't believe me, look for yourself. Check it for yourself. If you think I'm telling you a lie, or you think my friend Ohio Brett is telling you a lie about something, you go ahead and prove us wrong. Show us the science. Show us the evidence, because the evidence leads you where it does, and we're telling you we're being deceived. And if you don't believe it, show us the proof. refute our contentions to you. That's how science works. Show us the facts, show us the evidence. And at the end of
And
every
we
day, the
and
truth
yes,
bears scrutiny. If I tell
that's
you I
right.
once performed on the stage with the Beatles in 1969, all you have to do is a little bit of research to determine if I'm telling you the truth or not. It doesn't take a genius. You were saying? Brett, my man.
We have all been deceived. So I'm going to give some grace to those that, yes, they've been deceived, and it takes a strong man to admit, you know what,
You're
I
right.
was deceived. But
You're right.
because I trust and verify, I heard what Dana, the angry citizen, said. I'm going to trust him, but I'm going to verify it like crazy.
Thank you.
I'm going to go trust and verify. Whether Ohio Brett says it, or Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, or Coach Dave, or Dr. Stella Emanuel, or Dr. Judy Mikovits, or Dr. Peter McCullough,
Amen.
there are so many great voices out there, thousands of them.
There are.
So I shared this when we talked last time, Dana. In my opinion, the worst kind of bully in the world, the worst kind of bully in the world, tries to silence the opposing view.
Amen.
Look how deep and just wicked that is. Okay, we were taught that an educated consumer makes a wise choice for themselves.
Yes.
So I will evaluate this side, I will evaluate that side, and I will make a wise choice for me and my family.
Yes.
So if you want to go to the sports world and get a timeout, well, when somebody is silencing the opposing view, wouldn't that cause you to go, wait, timeout? Maybe I need to do a little bit of my own homework.
Yes.
Maybe what the Republicans are telling me is a lie. Maybe what the Democrats are telling me is a lie. Maybe if I only watch the national propaganda news, whether it's Fox or Newsmax or CNN or MSNBC, it's propaganda, folks.
Yes.
And all of us have been deceived. And I'm looking in the mirror. I have been deceived. I thought that I was actually a warrior, and I knew nothing about the Masons. I knew nothing about the Bushes, the Georgia Guidestones, Obama, the Clintons, and it's both sides, folks. You got to do your own homework.
Yeah, you just cited about 10 podcasts right there. That was about 10 different podcasts that you just went through right there. So yeah, that's so deep. There's so much information, and there's so I was describing to the guy that brought me back to the garage today about all these things. There's so many layers to this that we don't know about. We all know that they're corrupt on a marginal scale. We know that they take some bribes, some kickbacks, make a specialized appointment, get a parking ticket fixed here and there. But we don't understand the unbelievable, like whatever you think they're doing, multiply it by 100. We think they're here in corruption, folks. Our government is way, way, way out of control, and there's many layers to it. So it's very, very deep. So
there's some great guests, Dana, in the future. Ohio Brett friends, I can't wait for you to meet. One of them is Tom Dunn. Tom Dunn. He runs with a guy named Russ Dizdar. Tom Dunn is on the front edge of SRA, satanic ritual abuse. He is on teams that go out and save these kids. It is sick. It is sick what's going on in that world of child trafficking and the satanic ritual abuse.
Yeah.
And it goes to the highest levels of the church, of the politics, of the businessmen, of the Masons. It goes to the highest of highest levels, and it is pure Lucifer led. And I am standing up in the gap against that. And I won't stop until my last breath, Dana. And that's why it's exciting when you shared with me that stud, Joshua Chamberlain. I want coast to coast, border to border to know besides Dana, one of the greatest Mainers, the greatest men from Maine. I put Dana, the angry citizen, up there right with Joshua Chamberlain, because Joshua Chamberlain was such a great general and leader and courageous man. Your audience needs to understand when the battle was going the wrong way and they ran out of bullets, he didn't say retreat. He said, fix your bayonets on. We're getting ready to charge, boys. And they charged, and it turned the tide of the entire war. And without
Yeah.
studs like Joshua Chamberlain and Dana the Angry Citizen,
Thanks, man.
America, we're in trouble.
Yeah, appreciate that. Really appreciate that. And just so those of you out there, if you are not familiar with who Joshua Chamberlain was, you should actually look him up because he was an amazing man and responsible for, by all accounts, responsible for holding down the Union flank during the Battle of Gettysburg at great cost, and eventually he and it was the 20th Maine that was stationed there, and they were running out of ammunition, and they were faced with, they knew they would be charged again by the enemy. They had repelled successfully several charges, but they'd taken a lot of casualties, they were hurt, and they were running low on ammo. And he ordered them to fix their bayonets and charge, and they did. And they took down that whole flank of the Confederate forces and held the flank of the Union line, and in essence, saved the day and during that conflict. So, and there's a lot about Joshua Chamberlain that you should learn other than that particular thing, which is, I think, the best representation of him as a man. And he was not excited about going to war. He did it because he felt it was his duty, and he was the embodiment of Maine. There's been a lot of great Mainers. L.L. Bean was a great Mainer. Leon Linwood Bean created something called a Maine hunting shoe, and sold it to his friends, and every single one of them that he sold to his friends failed. And he took every single one of them back and gave everyone back their money and fixed them and redesigned the shoe and eventually built a business here in Maine with an unparalleled guarantee. He gave his customers a 100% satisfaction guarantee, which meant if you were not satisfied with something you bought from LL Bean for any reason, and there was no time limit on it. So if, let's say, you bought some hunting shoes and 5 years later they ripped open and you decided you were dissatisfied with them, he would still give you back your money. I'm sorry to say that LL Bean did change their policy a few years ago, unfortunately, because people were abusing it, and people had been abusing it since day one, which is despicable.
That's
But
right.
this was a man who had utter, sheer 100% integrity. That's what makes Maine great. Maine has elected more independent representatives than any other state. One of the many reasons I love this state. I love it with all my heart. It's one of the best states in our nation, and I love America. I've been to many states. I've been coast to coast. Still haven't been to Alaska and Hawaii yet, but I've been coast to coast in the USA. I love this nation. I love the people, and they're good, kind, decent people, which is unfortunately why they've been deceived, because they want to believe the government. They want to believe these so-called medical professionals. They don't want to think that this giant, elaborate conspiracy exists to just fool us all. And that's why we're kind of in trouble, because they're good, kind, decent people. So, but I do not love my government, and they need to be held accountable. And mark my words, America, right now. Okay, look me in the eye. I'm as serious as a heart attack. We will make it happen. There are many
Yes.
people that you don't see, like me, like my friend Ohio Brett, like Bill Gens down in Boston, who's working with the attorneys there. We got Americans in Action out in Oregon. We got Peggy Hall in California. We've got Sheriff Mark Lamb down in Arizona. We've got Dr. Tenpenny, Dr. Simone Gold, uh, uh, Dr. Christopher McDonald, Dr. Henry Ely. Uh, I could go on and on. There's you don't know, America. That's what I'm telling you. None of these people you see on your news, okay? But all of us are in the trenches. Oh, Sheriff Richard Mack got a big shout out, huge shout out to Sheriff
Yes.
Richard Mack of the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association. That component, that's one of the pillars of our movement, folks. You need to get behind your sheriffs, get behind your constitutional peace officers, declare yourself loudly to be a constitutional American, and demand that other people declare themselves or not. Tell the people, if you're not a constitutional American, I want you to tell me, are you a communist? Is that what you're espousing? Because then at least we know where you stand. Okay, we're constitutional Americans. We stand on that. We're firm on that. We don't want communism or tyranny or fascism or totalitarianism here in our country. We want our constitutional republic, and we're going to do what it takes to preserve that and make sure that it's a legacy that we leave to our children and our grandchildren. On that, we stand firm. So support your constitutional sheriffs and peace officers, especially the sheriffs, because the sheriff is the supreme law enforcement authority in his or her county, and they can protect you and they can protect your rights, and you need to let them know that they're supported. This is critical, absolutely critical. Constitutional Americans unite with our constitutional sheriffs in our constitutional counties, and we get behind that 100%, and then we exclude immediately all the people that are trying to take away our rights, get excluded logically from that group, and we outnumber them. So once we unite and stand together, we immediately dwarf the competition. It's us versus them, and they are the minority, and we remind them that they work for us. We're not
That's
their
right.
slaves. We're not their subjects. We didn't elect kings and queens to regale themselves in their royal palaces and issue decrees and ultimatums and mandates to the masses and then send their enforcers out to punish us. No, hell no. They work for us. So you will see that happen if we unite. All it takes is a little effort from anyone. And Brett was talking about this earlier, like people aren't willing to get involved, they're not willing to do anything. Pick up your phone. Pick up your phone. I got a message from my friend Ohio Brett on my phone here, if you can see this. Pick up your phone, call these idiots, and tell them, you work for me, I'm a constitutional American, you swore an oath. I demand that you honor and uphold the oath you took. And if you don't, it'll be your ass. Excuse my French, but you will be held accountable. If we can all get on the same page on that, 90% of our problems go away. 90% of them. We still have problems, yes. We still have things to solve, yes. But they become very small. So let's all try to get together on the same page and unite, communicate, coordinate, work together, make these changes happen because we the people demand it. So, sorry, tirade. I apologize.
That's all right. I love it because I stand in total agreement, Dana, with everything that you shared. And on behalf of my partners, Dr. Sherry Tenpenny and Coach Dave, it's an honor to represent the ChristianRevolution.net. And I'm so excited. We'll be in New Hampshire on October the 15th. We'll be in Maine, Augusta, Maine on October the 16th. And then before that, Ohio Brett will be doing some solo secret missions, some outdoor rally gatherings in the Boston area. And
Nice.
so I'm excited to get back out there and get
I will hook
after
you
it.
up, my friend. I will hook you up with some badass patriots in Massachusetts. There's a movement in Massachusetts that is impressive. I'm serious, man. If the Dark Overlords could see this, they would be quaking in their boots because there are some powerful constitutional Americans getting together down there, and they are not kidding around.
It's
They're not
great. And
messing
that's
around.
one of the gifts that I have that God gave me is the gift of encouragement. The gift of encouragement. And so for those of us that know that truth in our heart, that truth in their heart, because yes, I am a follower of Jesus Christ, but for Ohio Brett, Dana, wherever I go, I love to encourage the body of
I
Christ,
know you do.
but also grow it. And you have to be, everybody has their own style. I have my style, and I know that I've made a lot of mistakes in the past being a fire hose. I've come to understand that it's free will. God gives us free will, and you can choose communism. If it's
Right.
free will, if you're
Right.
going to go
Choose
down the
slavery.
Lucifer-led path and you want to be led by Satan, that communism, it's a free choice. And then for those of us who seek the truth of a constitutional America, a constitutional republic, that we're going to stand up firm for that. It's free will. So everybody that I want to meet, I want to know, whose team are you on?
Amen.
Just let me know right now.
Yep.
Whose team are you on?
Yep.
Are you for good or for evil?
Yeah.
And then we can make it accordingly how we're going to handle business.
Amen. Well said. So, all right. Well, this is really exciting to me to have my friend Brett on again. We tried this earlier, and the tech failed. The Dark Overlords are very, very powerful in the cyber realm, and things just vanish. They disappear. They don't work properly. They don't get recorded. You push the button and it doesn't work. This happens all the time to me. So, but I just tell them, bring it. Okay, I can do this all day. I'm like Captain America here.
That's
I'll
right.
do this all day. So you need me to get my friend Brett back online again and do it again. Here we are. Okay, I'll
That's
do it
right. And
as
we're
many
doing,
times as I
hey,
have to. Okay, I
that's right.
defy you. I defy
We get,
you.
well, we rebuke them. I will rebuke them in the name of Jesus
I know
Christ.
you will.
And Dana, people can find me on Ohio Brett on Facebook, Ohio Brett on Facebook. You can contact us at thechristianrevolution.net. Contact us there. Check us out. We want you to pray over it. We want you to give, and we want you to share.
Amen. Well said. All right. Well, this was really good. I'm so happy you were able to join me again, and this has felt really good to me. I'm gonna go ahead and post this up on my BitChute channel so anyone that missed it can see it. Thank you so much, Ohio Brett. Love you, brother, and really love your style and your panache, and looking forward to keeping up this fight with you. With you on my side and people like you on my side, we cannot lose. We will crush them. We will crush these dark overlords. So
I stand in total agreement. And Dana, I'm a big fan of you.
thank you.
Ohio Brett needs encouragement too. It's kind of tough for those of us who have the microphone
Yes.
and have to be the one being the speaker.
Yes.
No matter who it is. And I know I stay in my lane. I very much enjoy being the kickoff speaker and MC of events. I'm not the famous keynote speaker. Dr. Sherry Tenpenny is.
She is
Coach
famous,
Dave does an amazing job as a featured speaker. I stay in my lane. But for those of us who get the microphone and have to get on stage, we need encouragement from time to time. And Dana, that's why whether I watch one of your videos or we talk on the phone or we text each other, I want to say thank you for your encouragement. And again, I'm going to put the challenge out to this international audience. You need to share Dana, the Angry Citizen, with everybody that you know. There's no reason why he doesn't have hundreds and hundreds of thousand followers. It's coming. It's coming because he doesn't waver from the truth. That's why. He's simply sharing the truth.
No matter how much it hurts me. Yeah. All right.
Hey, get ready. I'll see you. And we're going to go to our secret Mexican place there and have some Dos Equis.
We will. Right.
That was a fun day.
It was awesome. I had a great time that day. So and it felt right to me, and I knew we would be working together to the end of this conflict. So thanks again.
And what a great example that is. For those of you who are out there truth seekers, get a buddy, get a friend, get out there, go break bread together and talk about these real things.
Yep.
These are the real issues that are going to save America. One beer, one lunch, one conversation at a time.
Yes. Amen. All right. Good talk, man. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Appreciate my audience very, very much. A couple of huge shout out to my very good friend Amy, because she is always right there helping me in every way, every form. Every time I put anything up on Facebook, Amy's right there. What can I do to help you? So God bless you, even though she's been through a lot of personal strife. And so thank you.
Tell Amy that Ohio Brett says hello.
Well,
I'm a big fan. I had the honor of meeting her in person as well. She took a secret meeting with Ohio Brett when I was in Maine, and she's a true leader worth following.
Nice.
No doubt about it.
Good. Yeah. So thank you for that. All right. God bless you, Ohio Brett. God bless you, my audience, and God bless America. Let us unite. Get on the same page. All constitutional Americans on the same damn page. Let us work together as one to restore our great republic. We can do it. It will happen. If we get 100 million, 200 million angry citizens / constitutional Americans all together working as one, we will see it happen. So let's do that. Thank you. God bless you.
Let it be done. God bless you, Dana.
Angry citizens signing off. God bless you all. Thank you. See you next time. Bye-bye.